Hello, hello, collective. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are well. Listen, y'all, I was like laying out a few days ago, and today it is snowing. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, though. Collective. So we have the shaman and the father, the mystic, the heart, the creator, and the stone. I mean, the father is the idea of like being lifted up on a pedestal and like falling flat on your face. And I do kind of just feel like that whole idea of the savior complex, like it doesn't get you, it drops you flat on your face. You know what I mean? Like it puts you in a position of power. It isn't necessarily like an earned position of power. Or I don't know. Do you ever just like, those people who, well, I mean, there's a lot of people. It's just privilege. It's privilege. You know what I mean? Like it's a privilege to flail. It's a privilege to cry victim. And sometimes I think that people miss entirely that if you're dealing with a person or people who are always crying victim, they're also always telling the same story over and over and over and over and over again about how they can't overcome because of one thing that happened, or like maybe it's years, maybe it's a lifetime of things that happened. And it's like, there comes a point in time where it's like, nobody's gonna pick up the pieces for you. You got to pick them up yourself, right? And it's just kind of like, but when you pick them up for yourself and then somebody wants to come at you with like a savior complex, I feel like those, like the people who've picked up the pieces themselves look at people who have those complexes and just are like immediately like, it's just off-putting. You know what I mean? It's like, no worries, no worries. I'm not attracted to that. So save somebody else. You know what I mean? I don't want a savior. I want a partner. And I just kind of feel this idea of having to let something go. There is a sense of, I mean, because you've got the stone and the shaman, and I just kind of like visually, I see you letting go of something and getting pulled into something else. But it feels like a little bit like what you're letting go got ripped out of your hand. And when it gets ripped out of your hand, you get pulled back into, I just feel like a version of you. I don't know, because it just like, if I had to like describe it, it just feels like your energy is really out of balance right now. And it's like, when you let it go, you like wobble back into yourself. Like that's what I'm seeing. And so I just feel like when you hold on to, this is a general read. These reads will not resonate with everyone in every different situation. So please take what resonates. If it resonates, if it does not resonate for you, please leave it for somebody who it does resonate with. But thank you so much for, spending some time with me either way. But I do get the feeling that there is just like, there's somebody in your life, and you can be on either side of the story, who's just like in this complex, and you are just really like, oh God, please no, immediately no, that's it's never going to be okay. And I just kind of feel like when there's that's never going to be okay, something gets snatched. Whether you're the one doing the snatching because you're the one saying like that is never going to be okay, or you're the one that's having it snatched from you. I don't know. It feels like something got cut. And one person is losing control. I just feel like this last ditch sense of control. And then another person is like bouncing back into balance. And I feel like this bounce back sends you in a direction that just like, I just feel like an explosion of creativity. You know, you're just like exploding creativity everywhere. You know, because it's like when you get pulled out of balance and you get pulled into different frequencies, you gain an understanding that like you would have never otherwise had. And so when you come back to yourself and to your own frequency and to people who resonate with your frequency, there is that kind of like that jiggle bounce back moment of like being in the right frequency, because you feel comfortable and you feel safe and you feel, I think, less afraid, because you're just like, I don't know, because when you feel safe, you don't feel like things are going to be taken from you. You don't feel like people are going to do you dirty. You don't feel like you have to constantly be looking over your shoulder. So when you feel safe, you feel better prepared to take risks, right? And I just kind of feel this like wobbling back in and exploding creativity. Okay. Well, this is fun. I like the energy. Okay. Collective. Let's see what else we can get for y'all. The Hanged Man, Judgment, Justice, the Magician, the Lovers, and the Ace of Swords. Damn, that is almost all major arcanas. Well, I mean, yay for justice, right? Like, I think that in the end, everything looks very different. I don't know. I just kind of get this feeling of like when you're wobbled back into yourself again, like everything looks very, very different. I don't know. And when it looks very different, I feel like whatever judgment you felt like was unfair, like it doesn't feel unfair anymore. I feel like, I can't remember whose read it was. I think it was a general read, honestly. There's just this idea of like energetic hooks, people who are like hooking themselves into you and like pulling you in all of these different directions, and just feeling like when you feel pulled in all of these different directions, you don't feel complete as yourself. And so you're triggered a lot more easily, and you are, I think you attract like a more negative energy to you because you're existing in that negative energy. You know, but like as you pulled out all those cords and you brought yourself back together again, I feel like everything looks very different. It was like looking through those bug glasses, you know, where you have like, that's like, this is what it looks like out of a bug's eye. You know what I mean? And then taking them off and then like being able to see clearly. Like that's what that feels like. Because when you take off the bug eyes, it's like, I don't know, it's a completely different story. You know what I mean? And I think that it's one that allows you to really like just stand in that truth as a whole version of yourself. There are no more Wibble Wobbles. You know, the Weebles have left the building. And you have the Lovers. The Lovers can be a relationship card, but like right now it feels to me just like this love, like just loving life, loving your community, loving your, you know, it's like even when I'm exhausted, like I just still feel so blessed to feel like a normal version of myself again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I have felt this normal for me, like my normal, in years. And, you know, it's like the only thing missing is the boys. But I feel like me again. And I just think that when you feel like yourself again, you exude that energy and you attract that energy, and the other energies, they're forced to let go, you know. And yes, I'm glad that that took the direction that it did, because it was feeling a little ick. But collective. Let's see what else we can get for y'all. Okay, 3 of Cups, 2 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, and King of Cups. Well, I mean, this feels like a decision. I don't know. Because it's like, to me, it's just kind of this, again, to go back to this, like, cutting cords, pulling cords, like breaking away from things that just like that mentality doesn't resonate with me. That, you know what I mean? Like that approach, that like nothing about that resonates with me. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, I feel like there's a decision being made where you're like, I have a whole lot of things in life that resonate with me. That's not one of them. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I just feel like making a decision that sends you in a new direction, that you feel confident about it. You feel like blessed and grateful and celebratory. I think that you are going in directions that are I just feel unleashed, you know, and I love that. I feel like that was somebody's title for a read recently. Couldn't tell you. The Queen of Cups, Death, Strength. The Knight of Cups, the King of Cups, the Tower, the Hermit. Holy shit. Okay, you guys, hold on. I need a minute. But that snap, yes, that snap, that does not resonate with me at all. You know, and it's just kind of like, and if that's the story that people tell, then I, you know, it's just kind of like, I don't really want anything to do with that. You know, like I don't have any interest in being the person that gets left out in the cold, and I don't have any interest in being, you know what I mean, like the person who's everybody's problem. You know what I like? Why would that? I don't know. I just feel like that's gone, and if that's how you resonate with me, then let those cords be cut. And gratitude and blessings on your journey. You know what I mean? I just think there's too much that you've been working on. You know, you spent a lot of time developing yourself. You've spent a lot of time, you know, like working on your as above, so below. Because if my as above is gonna resonate with my so below, then I gotta get my so below together. Like, how does that not make sense to people? I don't know. But it's like, it makes sense to me. I don't know, you've got the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. I mean, there's definitely a decision that's being made. There's definitely a movement in creation. There definitely feels like there's a lot of passion here. You know, and I feel like this comes on the heels of like cutting something off. Okay. Well, collective. Let's see what else we can get. The Judge. Yeah, I don't know. And this has felt like a very two different energies. You know what I mean? Like the first part of this read felt really kind of, you know, like I wasn't happy about it. And the second part of this read, you're like, okay, yes, vibing, you know? But I think that sometimes you have to just like, you have to take people's shit and you have to hand it back to them and say, okay, here you go. You know, that's not mine to carry, and I don't want to have to do that. And you know what I mean? And that's a decision. I feel like for a lot of people, it's like, that's not a decision that you were going to make. So that's a decision that I decided to go ahead and make. You know, because I'm not going to be held captive to something, you know, that feels very strange and completely unnecessary in my life. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, like acknowledging that and holding true to that, like sends you in a direction that really just like, I just feel like an explosion of creativity and a whole lot of passion. You've got the Lovers, the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups in this deck. The Heart, you know, I mean, there's just a lot of passion here. And I'm glad for that, because the beginning of this read was like, oh, I thank you for sticking around if you did to get to the good part, I guess. But if this does resonate with you, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.